Good evening and welcome to the March 5th, 2014 Town Board meeting, and I'll officially call this meeting to order. And I would ask that you please rise for the pledge. Tonight in the House we have a scout from Troop 206 out of Webster Holy Trinity Church. Andrew, if you would lead us in the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I would ask that our clerk please call the roll.
Cole.
Here.
LaFountain.
Here.
Metzler.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
Quinn.
Here.
So I would just like to recognize again Andrew for leading us in the pledge. Andrew is working on one of his many merit badges as he's making his way to an Eagle Scout. And at some point we look forward to getting that letter from your troop or from your family or others to say, hey, we'd like to invite you to an Eagle Scout ceremony, Court of Honor, and we'll come and present a certificate of recognition for all your hard work. So hopefully this is a journey that you will continue on. But for tonight, we'll do what we can to help you with your citizenship badge. Okay? And thank you. Welcome. I would like to start with our communications and announcements, and I'll ask our clerk to please start that.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Just a reminder that on April 22nd, we will have our next passport event in the town hall. There will be more information to come.
Mr. Quinn.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, everyone. AARP Tax Aid will be offering free income tax preparation to low and middle income taxpayers with special attention to those 60 and older at the Penfield Community Center, 1985 Baird Road. Every AARP Tax Aid preparer receives annual IRS training and certification. This service will be available by appointment only on Wednesday mornings through April 9th. Please call Penfield Recreation at 340-8655, option 6, to make an appointment. Taxpayers should bring their 2012 tax return, all 2013 tax documents, as well as a government-issued photo ID, like a driver's license, and Social Security cards for themselves and anyone they claim on their taxes. Second, change your clocks, check your batteries. This Sunday, March 9th at 2 a.m. is the official time in which your clocks will need to spring forward an hour. Many people choose to set them forward Saturday evening before you go to bed. Also, a friendly reminder to check and change your batteries in your smoke detector. Again, that is this Sunday morning, March 9th. And those are my announcements this evening.
Thank you. Mrs. Nissel.
I have two announcements this evening. First, the Penfield Recreation and the Monroe County Sheriff's Office will offer an exciting 9-week Senior Citizen Academy this spring. Participants will get a first-hand account of the different agencies and departments that make up the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Classes will meet for 9 consecutive Thursdays from March 20th through May 8th from 9 a.m. to noon at the Penfield Community Center. A bus will leave from the Community Center to tour the many individual departments of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Field trips will include the Public Safety Building, the Public Safety Training Facility, Emergency Operations Center, the Monroe County Correctional Facility, as well as talks by SWAT, the K-9 unit, the Mounted unit, the DWI unit, and other facilities. This program is for adults 55 and over. The enrollment fee is just $6. For more information, please call 340-8655. And my last announcement is that the annual VFW Post 2014 Memorial Day Essay Contest applications are now available at penfieldrec.org and in person at our recreation office at the community center. The contest deadline for essays is April 25th. That's all I have for tonight.
One announcement, and that is if you want to have some of the best pancakes this Saturday, you have the opportunity to do that. The Penfield Strikers Girls Soccer U12 Strikers team will be hosting their annual pancake breakfast at Don's Original, 8:30 to 10:30. And I've been to it before. I'll tell you, there's a lot of energy in the house. They serve up some great pancakes. They want to talk about last season because they were the division champions, so they've got a lot to brag about. And they're going to talk about the great year that they've got coming. So Don's Original, 8:30 to 10:30. Don't miss it.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Two quick announcements. The Penfield Trails Committee will be hosting and sponsoring a free public hike at Sherwood Fields on Saturday, March 8th at 10 a.m. to noon. The park is located on the north side of Route 441 next to the East Penfield Fire Station. Participants are asked to call ahead if they plan on attending to the Penfield Recreation Department at 340-8655. Also, mark your calendars for the upcoming Penfield Cleanup Day on Saturday, May 3rd. Families, groups, individuals, and teams are welcome to help pick up debris and beautify Penfield. This is a great community service project for groups or individuals, and you can spend a lot of time with other community groups in your family. This year we will also have a pancake breakfast before heading out to clean. To register your group or yourself, and for more information, please call Sabrina at 340-8651, or you can email her at srenner@penfield.org. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Cole.
Good evening. I have two announcements. The Penfield Rotary Spring Euchre Tournament will be held Sunday, March 16th at the Legacy 40 Willow Pound Way off Route 441. Check-in time is 1:30. There will be wine, beer, coffee, soft drinks, snacks available before and during the games. Prizes awarded to the top 10 players based on scores for 8 games. Prizes include over $1,000 in prizes and the $250 first prize. Tickets are $20 per person prior to March 14th, or $25 the day of the event. Tickets are available in person at Family First Credit Union, Browncroft Branch, Summit Federal Credit Union, the Penfield Road Branch, or mail your check to Penfield Rotary, P.O. Box 28, Penfield 14526. Also, tickets can be purchased online at www.penfieldrotary.org. All proceeds will benefit the Camp Hakamo for children and adults with a wide range of disabilities and other Penfield Rotary programs. My other announcement is that, I have monthly community chats, and my next community chat will be Tuesday, March 18th, this coming Tuesday, 5:30 to 7, in the new book area at the Penfield Library on 1985 Baird Road. And I also want to say one thing. Today, I was at the Penfield High School. The Penfield High School English Club helped me with a Rotary project, and I want to thank them. It was, I chaired the District of Rotary District 7120's website competition. And I asked the high school to provide a group that could help me with judging, student judges. And through the principal, Tom Putnam, I was introduced to Mrs. Miller. And she had an English club that was interested in looking at the content of all the clubs, and they did a wonderful job. I met with them before to see how they were doing, and today I went and thanked them for all their support. And we talk about partnerships and so on. And this wasn't exactly a town function, but it was my relationship with Rotary, working with the school district. And it just shows how, we can do things together that benefit the students as well as it benefits the service organization that I was working with. So it's another example of partnerships in the community, and I want to thank them for all their help in the project with the District of Rotary. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Horowitz.
No public announcements tonight, Mr.
You're happy.
Supervisor.
Okay, great. Thank you. Go Syracuse for their last game on Sunday.
They need it.
All right. Public participation, 2 opportunities at this time. And again, at the end of the meeting, 3 ways you can participate. If you're in the auditorium this evening, you can call in at 340-8771, or you can log on at penfield.org. So is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the board on any matter? Okay. Dr. Quattro, Legislator Quattro, an all-around good person representing 15th District of Penfield. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much for the kudos, Supervisor LaFountain. My name is, for the record, Dan Quattro, 488 Plank Road. I am the legislator to Monroe County Legislature from the 15th District, and it's always a pleasure to be here. Just want to talk to you about one recent thing in the news, and then follow up with a quick question regarding the weather. First of all, people who have been paying attention to the news very closely might recall or have heard that the county is going through a charter review process. It's a process that we go through periodically, like once a decade, to make sure that our charter is up to date and so on and so forth. And that would include issues of the rules of the legislature and so on and so forth in the county. Well, one of the issues that has ended up in the paper recently is the issue of the sheriff's road patrol and the town of Webster, which affects the town of Penfield as well, kind of circuitously or directly, I guess, and depending on how you look at it. Webster, as you know, has its own police department. The residents of Webster voted some time ago to have their own police department, and residents of Webster pay out of their taxes for that department. They also pay, because Webster is a town in the county, they pay a portion of their taxes for the sheriff's road patrol. As well as other services, including the jail, sheriff services like the transportation of criminals that have been arrested in Webster and are doing time in the jail out to Webster Town Court for appearances, and even for unfortunate events like we saw on Christmas Eve, a couple passed on Lake Road, where some first responders lost their lives tragically. My feeling about this issue is that it's, while the county has charged back municipalities for use of things like Monroe Community College or plowing, it's a very different thing when you're considering public service, I think. And I think it's a very dangerous thing. I think that if, for instance, as the supervisor of the town of Webster said in the paper today, a certain number of calls the Webster Police Department has responded to in Penfield, and he is considering charging the taxpayers or the town of Penfield for those services. I think that's very difficult. If a Webster police officer is responding to someone in need in Penfield, a Penfield resident, at what point do you start charging? How much are you going to charge for that service? Does the police officer need to get in touch with the supervisor of the town of Penfield to make sure that that expenditure is okay? I think that when you're considering or you're looking at things like the use of MCC or plowing, it's much easier to quantify those things. But when you have to do that at the public service level, particularly for our first responders, it's a place that I'm not willing to go, and I think that it's very dangerous. It is an issue, however, that we will look at very closely as legislators here in this town of Penfield. Legislator Draw and I will look at it very carefully. I know that the Sheriff's Department is quantifying the expense to the town of Webster with regards to how much the sheriff responds to issues in Webster, as well as issues of transporting prisoners and responding with SWAT team and so on and so forth. So we're going to look at that closely. I mean, we have a responsibility for the taxpayer money, each and every one of us as elected officials, but I think that we have to give that particular attention when we're talking about our first responders. So that's what I wanted to say, just to bring you up to speed with regards to that issue.
I know you're a member of the Agenda Charter Committee, if I'm not mistaken, and that's the committee that will be the lead committee to take a look at that, and then ultimately make any recommendations back to, one way or the other, back to full edge.
It is, and I promise you that, well, the Agenda Charter Committee will obviously get to pay particular attention to the issue, but we are going to coalesce all of the numbers, and we're going to make a responsible decision, not just for the taxpayers in both Webster and in Penfield or in Monroe County, but also for the safety of the people in our communities. I think that that's the responsible thing to do.
Thank you. Thank you again for having our back as a legislator representing a portion of Penfield and broadly across this county. So thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I think that the last thing that should be politicized is public service or first responder service. Certainly our public service gets politicized all the time. That notwithstanding, I had a discussion with someone in the transportation department at the county level who was talking to me about discussions he's had with supervisors in the area with regards to salt. I know that this has been a big issue for towns because you guys try and figure out with an educated, I'm not going to call it a guess, but a projection for how much salt you're going to use. And I know that the price of salt after the contract can be confiscatory. I can tell you that having a business and residing in Penfield, I've been very pleased with how safe the roads are. It's been a difficult winter. I don't mind the winter because I spend time on skis on occasion, but the roads have been less than slippery, and I was just wondering where we're at with our salt, how that's going to impact our budget, and I just thought I'd ask the question.
Yep. Well, thank you. So certainly, this has been a hot topic by a lot of people and a lot of experts or those profess to be experts around this topic. Within most towns are up against their allotted amount that they actually projected for 2013, 2014, as you take a look at it. We did have salt in the barn from last year that carried us over, and we are working currently off our 2014, but again, we're up against that amount, and we know that once it finally ends, sometime here, hopefully before May, that we do have that other piece that could start as early as mid-October-ish to the end of the year. So we have been judiciously taking a look at that and spreading the salt. We've cut back a little bit. Most towns have cut back a little bit. Webster tends to be a little less than normal. Some towns have gone over their allotment, and the price has gone from $38.38 a ton to $79 a ton. And that's part of that whole supply and demand, and a lot of the salt that is going to other parts of the country that are experiencing weather like we are. So we believe that we have a sufficient amount to get us through this piece of. We have expended all of our money for salt for this season, and then one of the things that we'll look to do is to get some salt in the barn for that end of year 2014. But it has been a challenge for everyone, and everyone's actually faced the same thing, most every town across the county.
So your salt budget is annual, just like your town budget?
That is correct.
And then includes the period, like you say, from October to December.
Right.
You
That is
expect
correct.
that prices moderate at that point?
Well, certainly what happens and what we've seen in the past is that when we go out for quotes again, and we do this kind of as a group, the highway superintendents, and we go and we put in what our projections are for the year. I would expect that the price will settle back down into that $38 to $40 range, and we'll place our orders and hopefully not experience the same weather as we had last year. To give you an idea, in Penfield, if we take a look at some of the historical data, that we've had years as light as about 6,000 ton. That's 6,000 ton, Andrew, that we're talking about, a lot of salt, and as much this year we're bumping up against 12,000 ton that we have put in, and we tend to try to be into that 8,000 to 9,000 ton range. That seems to have worked fairly well. If I take a look at the last 10 years or so, and a few years we get lucky and we have extra and we're able to carry that over, and then occasionally we get hit with a winter like this and puts us right up against the budget. So it truly is a science for the guys that deal with it day in and day out.
So you as towns buy collaboratively?
Right, that is correct. That's one of those things that we hear our governor talk about. Local governments, villages, town really don't get it, and they need to do a better job of collaboration. And what I'll tell you, and what I've told many people, is that the state needs to stop speaking their rhetoric and come down and learn some things from towns and villages.
Yeah, I would agree wholeheartedly. And that's one thing that I think that is a perfect example of how towns and municipalities should be collaborating in leveraging their buying power to moderate price. I'm very concerned with some of the things that I'm hearing in the community, particularly in the city and from the city school district with regards to collaborating with school budgets and so on and so forth. I stand firm against that and the loss of local control of school issues. I'm just, I'm very wary of it. I don't have anything to really report at this time, but I think that collaborating to purchase salt is a perfect example of an intermunicipal cooperation that works, and the governor should be paying attention. Unfortunately, he's not. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, always a pleasure. Thanks again.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Okay, Dan Quattro, legislator representing the 15th LD Legislative District, which covers a portion of Penfield and a portion of Webster. Thank you, Dan. Seeing no other individuals here for public participation at this time, we'll move on in the agenda. Additions and deletions to the agenda board. Seeing no additions or deletions, we have the minutes before us of February 12th, 2014, and would entertain a motion of approval of those minutes.
I'll move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on those minutes? Seeing none, a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler. Aye. Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Okay, thank you. Petitions. Has the board, town clerk, town attorney received any petitions since the last time we met? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to resolution by function under Law and Finance.
Authorization to attend the New York State Town Clerks Association Conference.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the New York State Town Clerks Association's 32nd Annual Conference is scheduled at Saratoga Hotel in Saratoga Springs, New York, from April 27th through April 30th, 2013. Whereas the conference provides training and education opportunities for town clerks, including education credits for registered municipal clerks. Now therefore be it resolved that Town Clerk Amy Steckloff and Deputy Clerk Lisa Grosser hereby are authorized to attend the 2014 New York State Town Clerks Association Conference, and funds are to attend this conference are included in the Town Clerk's 2014 budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion. I think the only comment will be a comment similar to what I asked last year at this time, and that is you're comfortable with your office coverage during the time that you and your deputy are out.
Yes, we are set with our tax receiver and part-time tax receiver and our clerk 3. They will be sufficiently set on providing coverage for that office.
Great, thank you. Then I would ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler. Aye. Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Awarding contract for road tractor.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the town board has authorized the Department of Public Works to advertise bids in a manner prescribed by law for sealed bids to be furnished to the Town of Penfield Clerk's Office for a tandem day cab over the road tractor. And whereas February 13th, 2014, only one sealed bid was received by the Town Clerk's Office from Hunter Buffalo Peterbilt at 2370 Walden Avenue, Buffalo, New York, for a price of $59,900 and meeting all specifications. Whereas there were no additional sealed bids from suppliers such as Beam Mac Truck Sales, Tracy Road Equipment, and Regional International. The Director of the Department of Public Works requests 3 additional quotes from suppliers via the internet to verify that the price of the road tractor's sealed bid was a competitive price. Whereas all quotes were higher than the sealed bid and ranged $5,000 to $10,000 above sealed bids received from Hunter Buffalo Peterbilt. Now therefore be it resolved that the Director of Public Works be hereby is authorized to purchase said tandem day cab road tractor per sealed bids. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion on this. Okay, seeing no discussion, I think the only thing to add is this is subject to a permissive referendum. That's a 30-day period. Once that goes, then the tractor will be delivered to the Highway Department. With that, I would ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler. Aye. Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to execute a mandatory agreement with Monroe County regarding an Irondequoit Creek Trail Improvement Project.
Second.
Monroe County and the town of Penfield previously entered into an agreement executed on May 24, 2013, authorized by Town Board Resolution, whereby the Town of Penfield agreed to provide for the Arundequoit Creek Trail Improvement Project in the low-mod areas in the Panorama Valley along Arundequoit Creek. Monroe County and the Town of Penfield now wish to amend the agreement to extend the term of the agreement. Therefore, be it resolved that the Town of Penfield Supervisor is authorized to execute an amendatory agreement with Monroe County to extend the term of the agreement.
Discussion? Seeing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Awarding contract for printing program brochures.
So moved.
Second.
Sealed proposals were sought and requested to furnish the Town of Penfield Recreation Department with printing and seasonal program brochure for the 2014 calendar year, including the summer, fall, winter, spring issues, to meet our specifications. Whereas on Thursday, February 12th, the proposals from the companies were received, opened, and read publicly by the town clerk. Those that sent in their proposals were the Messenger Post Media, Webster Printing Corporation, Penny Lane Printing, and Bartosh Printing Incorporated. Be resolved that the contract be awarded to Penny Lane Printing because they were the low bidder overall for all the bid specifications on alternatives 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 on each respective bid.
Okay. Again, this is for our brochure that comes out 3 times a year from our Recreation Department, listing all the great programs, all the great spring and summer programs. That's the next brochure to come out. I'll underscore spring and summer.
Yes.
So hopefully that'll help us get there a little closer. Seeing no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to sign recreation contracts.
So moved.
Second.
This authorizes the town supervisor to sign 4 recreation contracts, and they're all dealing with the summer as well. So the Towpath, the Volunteer Fife and Drum Corporation, Corps, to be in the parade, the 4th of July parade on Independence Day. And for music entertainment, we're having the Doghouse are going to perform again. And for our fireworks that will be taking place, so we have the contract with Young Explosives Corporation.
Right. Any other discussion? Seeing none, a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Okay, this brings us to old business. Any old business to come before the board this evening? Seeing none. Is there any new business to come before the board this evening? Again, seeing none, this is our second opportunity to address the board on any matter. If you're in the audience or if you'd like to call in, is there anyone that would like to address the board on any matter? Seeing none and seeing that there's no further business to come before the board, this meeting stands adjourned March 5th, 2014 at 8:01 p.m. Thank you. Have a great evening. Thank you, PCTV.